This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Keller's Garden Center and Landscaping Services. Are you still cutting your own grass? Are you still trying to get your landscaping to look perfect on your own? That sounds sweaty. That sounds like a lot of work. That sounds like a job for Keller's Garden Center and Landscaping Services. Family owned and operated. Keller's Garden Center and Landscaping Services, located on Kern Street in Exeter near Blue Ribbon Dairy, has the quality and experience to get your yard looking its best. The Garden Center offers plants, trees, sod, mulch, rocks, flowers, topsoil, grass seed, straw bales, and much more, while the Lawn and Landscaping Services offers mowing, trimming, planting, and full landscaping. And also new at Keller's Garden Center is the Zen Chaser Bonsai Studio, offering bonsai trees, supplies, and classes. Visit them on their social media page for more info. Keller's Garden Center and Landscaping Services. Get your free estimate today. Gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to the show. Fosh, what's going on?
How's it going?
It's going, man. I'm a little worried about Dante. I'm concerned that he may have been abducted. Dante, if you're in trouble, just blink 3 times.
Nah.
Do we need a code word?
We don't. He might be in an unknown location right now.
Honestly, the fact that he's got like the
of the
terrible
woods.
lighting and the horrible camera is like the most on-brand thing.
Yeah.
No, I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just funny.
No, it is very, very, very on brand.
That's good. That's good. Well, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
I feel like you guys have had a big year so far. We've got
it's been pretty eventful. Yeah, like if it's pretty crazy if you take like where we were last year on like June 24th, 2023, to where we are now. We've done a lot, and a lot has happened with the band.
Well, talk to me about Fosh. First, the name. I mean, I was like, is it Fosh? Is it Fosh? I mean, I knew it was Fosh because I have interviewed other colleagues of yours, and they said the name for me. But talk about the band, its beginnings, and obviously the name.
Okay, so I'll start with the name because it comes from my friend. Well, he's like all our friends. He's like but like my friend first, and like also a friend of the whole family. So it's just like I don't even know, like high school. Like I don't even know when in high school. It's blurry now. I'm so old and so removed from that at 21.
Oh geez, yeah.
But it's our friend Eric, and he's a funny kid. He's always like making up words and saying random shit. And the one day he just starts saying the word. He starts going Foch, and like we're like, what are you saying, dude? And then he just kept saying it, and like in different contexts, he'd be like, you want to come over, Foch. Let's go Foch over to get some ice cream. And it just started kind of catching on within the friend group. And so mainly we named it the band to like pay homage to like my high school friend group that I'm still like really close with.
Okay.
I think it's kind of a really dumb band name. And I think kind of when we first made it the name, we didn't realize that like we'd be doing so much as the band. So it's just kind of one of those, but we're stuck with it. So it's like,
see, I don't dislike it. I like that it doesn't actually mean anything. So then like I think some bands have names that like try to sound like really cool and then it's just corny. But the fact that ours just has like no meaning, I kind of like it.
Well, it's cool because when I say Fosh, I automatically think I want to say faux show, like faux show.
That's like kind of what I think that's kind of what he was going for when he came up with it. So it's like kind of what it is. Like it's like a super, super abbreviated for sure, I guess.
Yeah. I feel like that was like a Michael Scott word from The Office.
Yeah,
that does sound like something he would say.
Yeah, I think he has said that in The Office. So
I think I might like the Fosh.
Well, that's good to hear. I'm glad.
Instead of faux show, it's Fosh. Yeah, Fosh.
Yeah. Kind of rolls off the tongue nice and easy.
It's hip. It's like
it is. It is.
It's kids.
And one thing I will say I also like about it is I think it like looks good on like flyers and merch. Like it's very condensable and
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Only thing I'm
think
worried about
sometimes
was
it could
Fosh.
be people a lot of times honestly they say Fosh and for a while we tried so hard to like correct them, but now we're like, why do we even care? Like Fosh, whatever you want to call it, you know? It's not like it's actually a word. They're not wrong.
Right. All right. Well, we got the name out of the way. How long have you guys been together for?
Um,
So we released our first music in 2022, and
Okay.
I think we started first kind of playing together, I would say maybe 2021. Now obviously
yeah,
we're all
we started.
brothers, so it could stem back, you know, to when we were born if you really want to be picky, but
You
You
guys
know,
are
I
all
would say we.
brothers?
Yes, I think yeah,
the
we're all
three
brothers.
in
We're
this
we're
room
all
right
we're all in
now.
the same household right now.
No
Yeah,
shit.
we're like
Okay.
that's why I ran down the hall before to see if his computer
Yeah,
was working.
This is like Hanson.
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's yeah, we're all brothers. The only member who's not a brother is Stone, who
He had prior
who
commitments.
unfortunately was not able to make it on the meeting tonight.
That's
But
good. I didn't want to have him on back to back. Anyways,
yeah, so that worked.
I'm kidding. I'm
He
kidding.
would steal
I'm
our
kidding.
thunder. He's
I'm
he's
kidding.
he's a lot more interesting than us.
Nah, I'm kidding. That's crazy. I didn't know you guys were all brothers.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
definitely helps the experience. You know, I think it's a really
It's
unique thing. I think we're really privileged to have this to play in a band with your brothers. It's awesome.
You guys don't fight?
No, surprisingly, like we couldn't be any less Oasis. It's like it's the opposite, you know. Like we're always like rooting for each other. We're like, oh, what you wrote's better than what I wrote, you know, that kind of thing.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool.
It's very much it is fun. It's a good way to put it. We're kind of the anti Nolan Lee Gallagher band.
That's cool. I've got two brothers and we're not as close as I wish we were. Me and my younger brother are to a degree, but it's cool. What I'm getting at is it's cool to kind of see you guys as a cohesive unit and that you enjoy each other's company so much that outside of the normal brotherly love, and I use that with quotes, but like you're in a band together, which is also like a difficult thing to do at times.
Yeah, I actually think it's brought us closer together because it's, you know, we have this one thing that we could really bond over, and we spent so much time together because of it. I mean, obviously, just now the tour, like, you know, stuffed in a van together for 2 weeks or so, it really has helped us stay closer.
Yeah, let's get right into that.
Yeah.
You released a new album around April, I think it was early April, and you guys went on tour. So I kind of took away from how the band started, but you're brothers, you love each other, you decide to play music together.
Pretty
Uh,
much. That's pretty much how it goes.
That's the
Yeah.
Fosh short story, yeah.
Yes, that's yeah.
Faux show. Uh, that's cool. I mean, like, well, we'll get into it in a second. Like, I mean, are you guys from a musical background? Are your parents musicians? Like, how did all three of you
Yes.
decide to kind of pursue music?
Yes. So our dad and our his brother, and so obviously our uncle, and actually our cousin, it's like it was their cousin, so he's like our second cousin who drummed on our album. The three of them and a family friend were in a band together called International Pete in the early 2000s.
Okay.
So yeah, from like I remember being like 4 or 5 years old and like listening to like my dad and my uncle's band. So like it was I was like and even just like my dad I was always listening to different kinds of music. Like his favorite band to this day. Well, I guess technically his favorite band is us now, but he's always been a huge like Green Day fan. So like that was all of our first like favorite band. And so we were always listening to his music or just other kinds of music. So from a young age we were all very exposed to it.
It's so crazy you said that because one of my notes, when I was listening to the album, I hear some Green Day in the vocals.
Yeah. And like Don probably takes the most influence from them.
Yeah. Yeah, they're my favorite band.
I was
Yeah,
worried. I was like, do these kids like know who Green Day is? So that's cool.
Yeah, so no, that is
Green Day is
if
really it's where it all started. Green Day is the band that really got us just into music in general.
It's cool how like I
yeah,
mean I grew up with Green Day. I was in junior high, I think, when they kind of entered the scene like at a like a huge level. So it's kind of crazy to think about how that has it transcends like generations. Like it's awesome.
Yeah,
It's
no,
really
I
cool
think
how
it's so
timeless
cool.
music could
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's so cool that like we could share so much music with our dad. Like the stuff that he loved when he was like young and cool is the same stuff that we like.
It's cool seeing this like your generation because like I'm like 20 plus years older than you are. Um, and I just saw a band. I had a band play outside of the PNC Field. They're called Backdrop, and they were playing all classic rock. You know, Pearl Jam, Rage, but like they're young. They're like I don't think out of the three of them or four of them, I think one or two could actually drive a car. So they're 15, 16 years old, and they're playing like this music that I grew up with, and it's just kind of
Yeah,
like it's cool. It's cool that like that's the stuff that I like. So I'm not like this old weird guy, you know?
Yeah, I think honestly, it's the more music we played and the more shows we played, like you see how timeless music is. Like some bands we play us, I'm like, wow, like they sound like they could be from like the 60s or something, you know? And it spans just generations and generations. It's so awesome.
Yeah.
it does. Even we saw this band the other day. It was If Kansas Had Trees played with them in Morgantown, and oh my God, what were they called?
Nation
Um,
of Language.
Nation of Language. But they were like they're pretty big. They have like 300,000 plus like monthly listeners. But like they're literally just like they're an '80s band, but like like they sound so much like Depeche Mode and like New Order. But it's funny how like that sound even like transcends time.
Yeah. It's awesome. And it's like I do an a night shift on Rock 107. So you know, playing that music too, it's like it's stuff that my parents listened to and that I love too. And I guess and it's like your generation loves it too. And it's like it's crazy how it just doesn't get old. It doesn't like it's the music was so good. Like it just appealing to everyone. And I mean, I don't really care for a lot of the stuff that's created today. And it's kind of neat to see like, you know, kids your age appreciating, you know, the stuff that you're kind of into.
Yeah, no, I think it's really cool to see and really cool to appreciate,
Uh,
especially like what how much good music used to be in the mainstream.
So good.
Hmm.
So good. It's almost like I can't comprehend it sometimes.
Yeah, there's so many bands we see now that we consider like, you know, some of our favorites, and it's like put them like maybe 20, 30 years ago, like they're gonna sell at stadiums or something. Whereas, you know, obviously not nearly the same with certain styles of music in the mainstream anymore. Not that it's all bad, but I don't feel like I think a while ago the mainstream used to be more consistently just really good music.
Well, yeah, you also had bands that stuck around for generate like generations too. Like, I mean, I always say I don't think you're gonna see another band like the Foo Fighters have the longevity that they've had. Like, you know, the Rolling Stones that have been together for, you know, however many years. Was it 20,
It's
30
true.
years, maybe longer? Like those bands, and I think that kind of die out with like, you know, the Pearl Jams and the Foo Fighters and things like that. You're not gonna see another band come out that has that ability to kind of stick around that long.
No, that's one thing that blows my mind with some
It's
of these bands
crazy.
is the longevity they have. Like even I mean not to keep talking about Green Day, but like I think they're on tour this summer and we're probably gonna go see them as a family. And it is the same three dudes
Yeah.
since 1991. Like that we to me like the more like I've been playing music for what 2 years now, I see playing music for 30 straight years with the same guys. That is I see how insane it is.
It's unheard of,
Yeah.
really.
I mean, we play
It's
one tour and I'm like, oh man, I'm so tired. I need to go home and rest. And yeah, it was
yeah,
like a week or two at most.
yeah.
That's
I
cool.
mean, I guess these guys aren't stuffed into one minivan, but still, it's still crazy.
They
Right. I
were at
mean,
one point though. That's the thing. Like a lot of these guys, I mean, they
True.
eventually moved on to cool tour buses and stuff. But a lot of those guys, the first few years they were playing, were stuffed into probably shittier bands than we were driving.
Probably, yeah.
yeah. And they're old now too. Like they're like I mean, you guys know, even that you're young, like I get winded walking upstairs now. Like it's and these guys are performing. Think about you know, the Rolling Stones and what they're doing. It's like it's
Yeah, I
kind
mean,
of
I don't
crazy.
how Mick Jagger still performs is It just I
He
can't
looks like he's
understand
dead.
it. Yeah,
He looks like he's dead.
he's like a corpse on stage, but
Yeah,
he's still playing.
I mean,
killing it. It's
drumming and
awesome.
singing alone is tiring as hell, and then you add in like the performance aspect. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, yeah. So talk about that. So family affair. I love that. Parents, uncles, cousins, all that kind of stuff. Um, so you kind of come from that musical background. It was kind of destined, I guess you could say. So you formed a couple years ago. You released music, and then just recently you released an 11 song, I believe it's 11 songs, album called Up with the Sun back early April. Like I said, I heard some Green Day in the vocals. I hear some like Turnover vibes in there too. How
Mhm.
has the record been received so far? I mean, as you know, young men putting together a full-length album. How's it been going?
I think we're all pretty happy with how the release has gone.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we blew up or anything, but I wouldn't say we were expecting that. I think, considering our expectations, I think they were pretty much met. Honestly,
Yeah, no,
it's an accomplishment if nothing else. We have this EP and then now like a full debut album. Yeah, I mean, it would have been easy to just call it quits at certain points or whatever, but the fact that we just put it out, I just feel good about that accomplishment.
yeah, yeah. If nothing else, it's like, hey, at least we did this thing. We made an album. There's
And
so many big. Yeah,
yeah,
no,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, I was just
Listen,
gonna
there's so
say,
many bands that don't even get to that point.
yeah. I mean, and again, in this world we live in too, it's a very single heavy. It's here releases a single every 2-3 months, whatever it is. Like for you guys to sit down and put out 11 songs, and I think that's pretty neat.
Yeah, I agree, and like I know, like that's like you said that it's the whole kind of the whole Spotify game now is so much like, oh, just single every few months. And it's like, I mean, I have no problem putting out singles. Like we put out a few singles before the album, but I've always like I knew from the start. I was like, no, I want to put out a full length. I just want to do that. I feel like that feels so much more. I feel so much more like an inner sense of accomplishment releasing just a full album than if we just put out one song every 2 months.
I just think an album itself is just such a good experience, like listener wise. I guess I mean, I get the idea of singles, but yeah, like just a single every month or so and no albums to me is kind of crazy. Like when you're listening to an album and it's cohesive, but still dynamic and it flows, it's awesome to listen to that.
I mean, that's how I grew up. I mean, I records were kind of past, uh, you know, my early years. It was cassette and then the CDs. But I mean, I loved listening to albums front to back. I mean, bands recorded
Mhm.
it like that way too, which
Yes.
maybe you guys in your generation will save music and you'll just force it to like get rid of these singles and that kind of shit, and you'll be like, albums are cool again.
I think whenever things start kind of trending, the wrong way in music, there's usually something that causes it to, people just get fed up and it goes the other way. And I hope that's going to happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully within the next few years you get more of a album resurgence and just there's like you were saying there's it's more than just when you like listen to an album front to back, it's more than just listening to music. It's an experience. It's a whirlwind of emotions when you listen to it front to
Yeah.
back.
I think it's tough though, because from the artist side, it's like when the streaming services, they favor it the other way. It can definitely be tough to go against that, especially if you have any sort of goal of success. It could be really tough to go against, what they advise and how their algorithms like to work or whatever.
Yeah.
That is a very good point. Yeah, I think a large part of why that is the case today is not necessarily what a lot of the artists who do that. It's not necessarily I think maybe what they want to do or their desires, but it's more just they feel kind of forced because
Right.
of the way streaming services are today and how much numbers matter and all that.
Yeah, I mean, for you guys, we live in a Spotify world. I mean, you guys have, I feel like you have a decent amount of monthly listeners, like almost 2,000, right, on Spotify.
Yeah, which is a number we are super happy with.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
like so
Yeah.
but the whole numbers game, it really can be so grueling. It's like I used to kind of look every day, see how many streams each song got or whatever. And obviously for us, it's not that many. And just it's so hard when you have like an exact number of like how many people listen each day. It's hard to not kind of obsess over it.
Right. I get that. But I mean, a couple of these songs, you have Somewhere Tonight has over 26,000.
Thanks, Dante.
Yeah, that's what we call Dante
That's Dante.
magic.
That's
Dante Magic. Are you a bot, Dante?
Nah.
He speaks. That's good. But no, that's good. I mean, like that's like it's hard, like you said about getting caught up in the numbers. I mean, even like doing this, I feel like sometimes I'm a failure, right? Like I look at the amount of views on YouTube or listens and downloads on Spotify. It's like, does anyone even give a shit? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, no,
should I just stop?
so
Should I hang
easy.
it up?
The first
Yeah,
two
no.
singles that we released from our album, we had that feeling. It was because we had so few people listening at that time. We were really like, why are we doing this? But you have to remind yourself, like, you're doing it for yourself more than anything, you
Right.
know? That reward of
Yeah.
creating the music and the process, the fun that comes with it, that's why you're doing it.
Absolutely.
And you also kind of have to like sometimes for me, like don't sometimes those numbers are bigger than you realize. Like if we put out a song and it only gets 1,000 streams or whatever, that's still 1,000 people
Hmm.
that listen to your song, and probably a lot of those people enjoy it. So it's like it's 1,000 more people that listened to it and enjoyed it than if you weren't to put it out. And it's the same logic for putting out videos. It's like even if it is only a few hundred or 1,000 people who watch it,
It's still
that's still
fun to
many more
people.
than
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, the thing is too, like on any, like for example, that day on tour when we played Philly, maybe we only got 30 streams that day, but we were in a cramped basement full of people moshing and singing to our songs for 35 minutes. Like that is like the experience. It's unreal, When you have that experience, it's really easy to kind of see how the numbers are kind of just not what they look,
Yeah.
Not as important as they may seem.
I mean, how have you guys been able to increase, the listenership and, reaching different people?
Consistency with shows and with releases. Even like when we first started, even just with getting shows, and like it was so hard to just get a show. Then you play more and you play more and you get more people coming, and then more people start listening, and it's really just consistency, I think.
And you guys just got back from tour, right?
Yes.
Talk about that. I mean, young men out on tour, traveling the. I mean, did you go past? Like, it was the East Coast and a little bit west, or
Yeah, look, we
Yeah.
went the farthest west. We ended in Columbus.
okay,
So,
that's cool.
but yeah, no, it was an amazing experience. So it was us, so the three of us as brothers and our best friends in the Kansas had trees. And we all just got on a van together, and it started in Providence, ended in Columbus. I think we did like 9, 10 shows total, and it was so much fun. It's like one of those things like we didn't make back like a dime of our own money. Like it was, but it was just like
Who
we got to
cares? It was
play.
the experience.
It
Right.
wasn't,
It's not
yeah,
about that. Yeah.
not at all. But we got to play in a bunch of different cities we never played. The people who have never seen us before with our brothers and best friends. So it was so much fun. And like, there were some, like my brother said in Philly, there were some other like great shows, and there were some fucking dog shit shows. And it's just like
It's all part of the
it's just
experience.
it's all
Like
part of the experience. Like even like I'll probably remember some of those, and not even necessarily in a negative light as I will the good ones. Like there's some like funny experiences from those
oh
bad
man,
shows.
some of the stuff that happened in Brooklyn and Baltimore, so funny.
Like
Two of the worst
hilarious.
shows
Like
I've
I'll
ever played
never
in my
forget
life,
that
but
day.
it was an experience. Yeah, Dante remembers.
Yes.
Dante, share a story with us.
Um.
Why was it bad? But what made it good?
How about that day, that crazy day in Brooklyn? Talk about that a little.
Yeah, Brooklyn was crazy. I don't even know if I want to tell that story about that guy.
No, don't tell that one story.
Yeah.
The one
Well,
story got a little
yeah.
a little too much.
Mhm.
Okay. Off air. We'll do it off air.
But the day in Brooklyn was crazy though, because you book these small DIY venues, you don't know what to expect, and we get there and it's like this lot or something, like an abandoned lot of some sort that's like all fenced in, barbed wire fence actually, and it's like a taco truck mixed with a venue, and it was just crazy. It was like it's really hard to explain, but it was basically just an abandoned lot on the streets of Brooklyn, and we ran our vocals through a bass amp and just so many like odd things happened
Oh,
that day.
I
We
mean,
lost
so
Stone actually too. He hands me his phone and he's like, "All right, I'll be right back." And then we're like, "Wait, where'd he go?"
yeah, he was gone for like a half hour. Like, where the hell did he go? Another thing about that show is, so it was us, the two of like our bands, and then the one local opener. Who the show was at like 6. They at like 4:30, like dropped the show on us. So we had no local opener. So we're like, what do we do now? And then so it was really, really funny. We had so AJ Nardone, Joey's brother, he did like a little DJ set
Okay.
before he went on.
Nice.
And like it was awesome. It was so funny. And honestly, it was a pretty badass DJ set.
Yeah. That's sick. Well, that's when I was younger, I always said like it's all about the story. And what I loved about being young and like kind of like not carefree, but like you just the unexpected was like the best part because you didn't know what to expect and things just happened.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I always encourage like young people, and I think it's hard these days where um and I think it's hard being a kid, a young kid, and it's like you don't know what to do. Like, do you like what are people doing? Like, do you go out? Do you do stuff? It's like I always tell people like go out and do stuff because you never know. Like, you can meet your best friend, you can meet your husband or your wife. Like just go out, do stuff. Like, just say yes to everything.
That
Yeah.
actually reminds me of the one conversation I had with our buddy Roman, who he's awesome. He roadies for us, lends us his gear and stuff. But anyway, it was like at
Came
the
on
end of
tour
the
with us.
tour, he was like, what are your thoughts on the tour? How do you feel about it? And I was kind of thinking, well, I'm a little tired and whatever. But we really got into the fact like it's just so awesome that we're out exploring and just having new experiences. Like even put the music aside, like I've been to new places I've never been to before. I met new people, and I just had really unique experiences, and that's just invaluable.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things. It's just some you just got to do it. You got to do shit. You got to just like you said, just say yes. Like I remember, in regards to the tour, like I know Maddox and and all of us, we were talking like it's just like we just have to do it. Two young bands, even if it becomes nothing more, we have to say we have to do it just even just this once. We got to just do it. And I
Right.
remember a few months ago I went to a One Step Closer show, and I got to talk to the lead singer Ryan. And obviously that band, they're like taking off, like they're really doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing he said to me, because he knows Maddox really well, and so we were talking about the possibility of doing this tour, and like he said to me, he's like, you just have to do it. And like to hear that from somebody who really is doing it and is finding a lot of success from it, it's like yeah, it resonates a lot.
Yeah, and it's like, and it sounds like you have your parents' blessings too. It's like you have this talent, you have this relationship with each other. It's like you have to give it a shot. And I always say too, it's like it only takes one. And it only takes one person to see your band who might know somebody up the ladder to get you in front of a different set of people and that's with anything in life. It just takes one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's all it takes is one little break, one person to hear it, anything, yeah, just one,
Just you
whatever that
gotta
one may
keep
be.
going with the
Just
grind,
yeah.
keep the process going, and anything can happen.
Yeah. So, what were some highlights of the tour? I know we kind of we talked about a little bit of a hiccup with what went bad, but let's talk about some highlights. Maybe Dante can share that.
I'll
Uh,
talk about Philly.
Yeah, Philly.
yeah, Philly was probably the best show of the tour. It was honestly probably our best show like ever. But yeah, the crowd was great. The energy was great. There was moshing and stuff.
And this is a new place too.
Hmm.
Where,
Yeah, like
where
a
was
bunch of
it?
people who had never seen us before, and like
We're
people who I
singing our
like.
lyrics. It was mind blowing.
That's
Yeah, it
cool.
was it was It was crazy, and I literally went up to them after the show and was like, "You guys are the fucking best. Like, thank you, like, for making this night like so special for us."
What
Then
was
I
it?
think the other it was the Goo Lagoon, a house venue in Philly. It's
Oh,
like
cool.
kind of related with like the temple scene. But I also think the next best was our Pittsburgh show. Also another just awesome house show. Just the energy, like Dante said, the crowd just moshing the whole time. You see some people singing along. And I think that one was really cool too because we go to school out in Pittsburgh, so it's kind of become like our other home scene. So to be able to go there and actually have people show up and be like, "Wow, we kind of made a little bit of our name for ourselves." Like it was really satisfying to see. It was a Monday night too.
Yeah,
That's
it
awesome.
was a Monday night. It was minimum 100 degrees in that basement. Yeah, there were still people there for all four acts, moshing, bringing the energy, still in the basement, and it's so cool. I think it's a testament to kind of our bands, and also just to certain venues like the Goo Lagoon in Philly, and like this venue we played at West Egg in Pittsburgh. They're just really well run, and really they're very organized, and they're venues that people will go to no matter what bands they're playing. So I think shout out to those venues who create such good places for bands like us to play at.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of places outside of bars in our area for bands to really play. Um, I was talking to the guys in Kansas Head Trees about this, and telling Joey to tell his dad to open a place up. Because I feel like we need a venue. We used to have Carl Hall, an all ages venue.
Yeah,
The pandemic and kind of things kind of I think hurt that a lot. And then I think there was just landlord issues and shit. I don't know exactly, so I shouldn't really speak about it. But uh, we don't have a lot of those.
yeah, no, it was really unfortunate when Carl Hall went down. That really was like the home of the NEPA scene. And especially for bands like us and if Kansas had trees, for it to to lose that right as we were like getting started was unfortunate. I know
Yeah,
there's
I mean,
definitely some cool venues around here. Spacement's in on like around the square
Yeah,
is becoming a pretty. We played there a few times. It's a lot of fun. So that's becoming a cool venue. And Jared, um, he runs these shows through his house. That's cool. So like it's cool to see that there's people still working to kind of create a new home for the scene after we lost such that central venue.
yeah. You keep saying house shows. Is that like a thing now?
Yes, and they are
at least for
awesome.
small bands like us, yeah,
Yeah.
they're the best place to play. Like, well, I mean, there's exceptions, but in general, they're almost always the best place to play because I think the people who are willing to cram into a tiny little basement for a show, they really want to see the music.
Yeah.
And we always like have the best energy and stuff in these
Yeah,
basements
the
for the
vibes are
houses.
just there.
That's cool.
And it's so like up close, like we always close our set with one song, and there's like a long guitar solo in it. And like when we're playing in these small basements, I literally just walk into the crowd and like they surround me, and it's just that closeness is awesome too.
Yeah, when I was like early 20s, like there was a ton of venues. So like there wasn't a lot of like house shows. I went to a couple in Scranton. I had a bad experience once. I won't get too much into it, but
Oh God.
oh, it wasn't bad. It was. I mean, I still tell the story to this day. It's actually pretty awesome. It just cost me a lot of money because, well, I'll tell it. I was working all day. All I had to eat was a payday candy bar, and I was getting in the truck with the guys playing the show. Um, and I thought we were gonna stop on the way up to get something to eat. Well, I guess we didn't have time, so we went right from where I was working to the show in Scranton, and I started drinking, and I had almost nothing to eat all day. So I don't know if I got drugged or if it's just the fact that I didn't eat much all day. I think I had like 3 drinks, and I was like a mess. And
Yeah.
I knew the band playing, so at one point, the guitar player Kevin, gave me his guitar, unplugged it, and I pretended like I was playing. And the whole room thought it was me. I was like, in my glory because I've never played an instrument in life, and it was awesome until I fell backwards, knocked over a pitcher of beer into the amp, and fried it. So
Oh, that's
yeah,
tough.
so yeah,
That's
that
A
you
couple
know,
times I caught it on tour. Some people putting their drinks on my amp. I'm like, I don't want to be that guy, but I just
yeah,
cannot have the drink on my amp, man.
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know, I'm sure at that night it must have been pretty nightmarish for you, but that's an awesome story.
yeah. No, it was
You have
awesome.
an awesome story to tell now. It's
I
like
mean, I had to, give the guy money to, and I wasn't like a dick. I'm not gonna like, fuck up his shit and then say see you later. I mean, we were all good friends, so I wasn't gonna stiff him, but it was an expensive, fun time.
yeah, hey, that's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah, dirt
Just
floor,
shit
basement.
happens, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Eh, you can't win them all.
Hey man, I think I won. It was cool.
Got the good story. You
Exactly.
had fun.
You could
It
spin it.
just
It's like
costs a
you had
little
a great
money.
story to tell. You
Yeah,
still won. So
yeah. I'm telling a story 20 years later. It's good. Yeah, that was like I've never played an instrument before. I don't know. I don't know why I never got into it. So that was like my moment.
That's really cool.
and so even though yeah, you didn't even think like even the moments before that when you were just it felt like you were playing, everyone thought you were playing, like that
Yeah,
was probably so fucking fun.
it was awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think it's awesome. What if it's like not available for you, like a venue per se, like people are just all right. Well, then we're just gonna make it happen. And here's a basement, or
Yeah.
here's.
It's
I feel like they were starting to do like these secret shows now too. Like there's like I don't know how they advertise it. They might just it's word of mouth or like they give you coordinates and it's like at an undisclosed location. Like I don't know if that's something you guys have ever heard of before, but um it's like exclusive. Like you have to like know someone who knows somebody to get in.
I actually haven't heard of
honestly
that.
No,
I haven't, but it sounds pretty sick. I think it'd
That
be
would be
like
cool.
right?
But
Like if you saw
I
like a coordinate on like you almost had to do like a scavenger hunt to find out where this coordinate was, and then you typed it in your phone and then you showed up wherever it was.
that honestly probably draw a lot of people because like just the fun of finding it is
that
like
Yeah,
sounds like
that's
a lot of
attractive
fun.
to
Yeah.
someone.
yeah. I've never been part of it because I'm too old now, but I heard kids were doing that. Maybe I'm making it up. I don't know. That's
Imagine
what I heard.
imagine that people going through steps and looking through clues to get to see us play. That'll be
Yeah,
the
bro.
fucking
We
day.
just we post we advertise our shows like crazy, and it's like, oh God, I hope people come.
Well, I think people like want to be, it's people want to be involved in exclusive stuff. They like, they don't want the easy access. They want to be, oh, like I'm part of this
Mhm.
thing and not
That's
everyone's allowed here.
Yeah, it makes it
hmm
seem like a bigger deal, you
yeah,
know.
it makes them feel like yeah, included and yeah.
So try it.
Maybe we
Shit,
will.
I'm down. I'm down for that. It'd be a fun little
We'll
thing.
throw a show in our basement and say you just have to find the house.
Yeah.
Figure out where we live.
And then do like clue like you saw I mean I'm sure you've seen those people on the internet, right? They can kind of like locate things.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I forget what
Those
the
people are
show is called.
crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. Like there's like a sign or a reflection off of something and it's so wild.
Yeah,
It's so
wow.
I don't understand how people do that. Like there's a guys like that. There's also guys. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get like off topic.
Nah, this is what it's for.
No, but there's like even like there's videos kind of very similar to that where it's like there was this one guy I've seen videos of, and like how like a lot of times movies, TV shows, like this in the background there'll be like a sports game going on. He'll like zoom in on like say it was an episode of The Office and there was a Phillies game on. He'll like zoom in and be able to, or not even, I wouldn't say it's a Phillies game. It's just a baseball game. And he'll like zoom into the TV and like look at the uniforms, if includes in the stadium, and be like, and come to the conclusion that that was like, that game was the Phillies versus the Padres on July 24th, 2008. And the
Yeah.
Phillies won 8-2 just by a simple snippet on from a TV show. It's like,
Yeah.
how do you do that?
I don't know. I mean, it's people being smart and having a lot of time.
Yeah.
Yes, that's crazy combination.
I wish I had that time. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wish I was that smart and I wish I had that time.
yeah, the internet's a crazy place.
Oh man.
And you
Really
guys,
crazy.
yeah, you guys have like had it basically your entire lives.
Yeah, even still though, it's still there's times where I open my phone, I see like a video on Instagram, I'm still like, oh my God, like what is this? How is this on the internet? Even with growing up with it my whole life.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know how. Like I have two kids. One's and they're young. But my kid, he's 6. He watches YouTube all the time, which is weird to me. He watches other people play video games.
Yeah, like that's a huge thing now. Like
Yeah,
watching all these different streamers and like I don't know, they're streaming their Fortnite and
yeah,
all that. It's like and like some of these streamers and stuff, they made like careers off it and like
yeah.
good careers. Like
Tons of money
it's crazy.
doing what they love.
Yeah, it's I mean it's awesome.
So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm
It's no
partially
different than
jealous.
yeah, no different than making money off music or something,
Yeah,
just doing what you love,
Yes,
making
it's the
money.
same idea. Yeah, it's
yeah. But you guys have to like hustle. You have to leave your homes and play shows
Well, that's true.
and write songs and record songs and pay to record songs. And they're playing video. They're sitting in their house. They're sitting where you're right now, just playing video games.
That's true.
Hitting record on a
it's very
camera.
true, but hey
Very
man,
true.
if I go up against one of those guys in Fortnite, they kick my ass. So it's just different talents, I guess.
Yeah,
Well, it's also really easy to be bitter about something like that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Just give them credit. They're good at their thing and
yeah,
they know how to entertain people.
yeah. I'm jealous. I'm a tad
Me
jealous.
too.
Not in a bad way.
Yeah,
Just I'm just like, God damn.
it's like good for you,
Like
man.
a
But
complimentary
damn,
jealous.
Yeah,
mm,
exactly,
it's
exactly.
like you, yeah.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about this album. If someone was just hearing this for the first time and they're like, okay, I want to check out Fosh, the album Up with the Sun, like, where would you encourage maybe someone to start? Like, what song?
Um,
Obviously, like the first one, we want some listen front to the back, but like, what are some highlights in your minds?
okay, I'll give my highlights. I'll give my highlights, and I'll tell them what not to listen to too. If you want to hear that.
Oh man,
Oh,
he'll be talking for an hour.
okay. Well, no, maybe we can, but no, we can maybe I'll give some like if that's okay. Like
Yeah,
some of my personal favorites. I absolutely love the song "Somewhere Tonight." I honestly, that's probably the best song on the album, and it's the opener. It starts out great. Um, I think it's just like it's short to the point, and Dante wrote it when he was 15 years old. So fuck you,
nice.
Dante. Um, um, but then there's also I think "At the Door" is one of our strongest songs.
That's my favorite, I think.
Oh, that's thank you. And then I like "Winter" a lot, and then I think the last two songs, "Sundown Streets" and "Up with the Sun," are really I like and strong. And I think "Sundown Streets" in particular, I would encourage people to listen to. Um, I think that's probably the most personal song on the record for me. I wrote that about 2 years ago. I think I wrote that. Luca wrote a lot of music to it, and like I wrote the lyrics to it, and it's largely about how I think it was 2 summers ago, probably almost exactly 2 years ago, and it was after my first year, after my freshman year of college, and I still like did not know what I wanted to do with my life, and I was like so like stressed about it and kind of down about it, and that's basically what that song was about. So it's just it that one resonates with me a lot. I think it's one of the most emotionally packed and personal songs.
I think
I'd
I
encourage
agree
people.
with that song, and also I think the highlights you chose are perfect. That's exactly what I would tell people to listen to.
Nice. Dante?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah, I like "Spinning in My Mind" too. It's one of my favorites on the album.
That's cool. I mean, and I asked this to the guys in If Kansas Had Trees, like, uh, you know, guys your age, what do you find yourself writing about outside of the one you just mentioned?
Yeah, I think it's just, I mean, we're all, I mean, between being 16, 19, 21, that whole age, it's a very like a lot goes on in those ages, and a lot goes on. Just, I mean, obviously we're an emo band. We whine about girls. um, um, I mean,
Yeah, I can't
what
lie.
else?
It
Like, I mean,
happens.
no, like, I mean, I think for me, like, a lot of the biggest inspirations are just kind of what kind like love, just other personal feelings, like just kind of certain things you go through, certain feelings. But I feel a lot of that. I feel like for writing for me is just I express how I feel, whether it's about girls, about myself, about things going on in the world or around me. Um,
I think actually like when you go away to college, like you have so many like topics to write about coming at you all at once, so many new people
Hmm.
to find and also to lose, a lot more just confusion about, where your life's going, kind of like Nico was saying, Sundown Streets is about. So yeah, it honestly does vary a lot.
I failed to do this a lot, and I did not introduce you guys like individually. We just kind of got into it and went rolling with it. But why don't you guys introduce yourselves and say what you guys perform in the band?
Oh, okay. I'm Nico. And I do lead vocals and rhythm guitar.
Luca.
Um, I'm Luca. I do lead guitar and a lot of like harmonies and stuff. Occasionally I drum, but that's never good.
How about you,
I'm
Dante?
Dante, and I do vocals and I play some rhythm guitar.
Nice. I gotta do better at introing people at the start of this thing.
Oh,
Honestly, a lot
dude,
of times,
didn't even cross my mind. I wasn't
a
even
lot of
Yeah,
times we
thinking of
play
that.
shows, we say a bunch of stuff, a lot of banter, but we forget all the actually important information, like
yeah,
who we are, what our songs are, where we're from.
yeah. Where are you from exactly? I mean, NEPA, right?
Mountaintop.
But Mountaintop, cool.
Yeah, we're from Mountaintop. Yeah, we're all Crestwood. Well, Luke and I are Crestwood grads. Not that he currently attends Crestwood.
Nice. So crazy. He's in high school.
It is crazy.
It
He
just
just
makes me
got
feel
his
so
license
old.
like 2 days ago.
Yeah,
Congrats.
2 days ago.
Congrats. You cruising yet or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, sharing a car now.
hmm
He's
Nice.
I got back the one day, the car I normally drive wasn't there, and I was like, oh, he got his license.
That's so funny. I mean, typically, like, maybe it's a generation thing too. Like, we're just like kind of to one another, but maybe these guys have like it's just a really special bond. But like, I feel like if I was growing up and I took the car and my brother got home, he'd be like, "That piece of shit took the car." You're like, "Good for him. He passed his test."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so sweet. That's sweet. Um, what's next for you guys? Like, what's the plan for the rest of the year?
So right now we're actually for the first time in a while, we're taking a little break from shows, probably for the rest of the summer, and we're working on our next album. We I think we really learned a lot making our first album and like what to do and what not to do. So for this next one, we're really gonna like hone in this summer and just try and just, do everything a little better than we did last time.
Yeah, like there's definitely, I mean, don't get us wrong. We are proud of the album we made and we enjoy it, but we do also realize that we feel like, in the whole process, we didn't really know what we were doing. We definitely made some mistakes. Um, and there's things so yeah, like Lucas said, we're definitely gonna kind of try and focus on correcting some of the mistakes we felt like we did and really just really hone in and work
I think the big thing
hard.
we learned that we're gonna try and really work on, in the coming months is like we learned, I think, a little bit how to take like the good idea of a song and actually being able to make it into a good song. Like I think we'd have an idea, we'd be like, "Oh, that's really cool," and then we just didn't really execute it. Not always, we didn't execute it properly. So I think from now on, we're gonna work really hard with that.
There's so many little things like that go into like really what makes a song good that you don't really think about when you're initially writing it. Um, that we didn't really think about at all until like the song was completely recorded. That we want to make sure we focus on before we get to the studio this time.
Where did you record this first album?
At J&L Studios with Joe Loftus.
Yo, those guys out
He's
there are killing it.
he is
Oh man,
they are him and his and Jay are
Jay, yeah.
fucking incredible. We owe so much to them. They do an amazing job. We love working with them. Like we cannot say enough good things about them.
we're gonna record everything there until they're retired or something. Like
Yeah.
as long as we can, we're gonna record there.
It's so crazy too, because like I talk to a lot of bands, and a lot of bands say that they go to JL, and they're the best, and yada yada yada. And they're so humble because like all these bands that they're helping, like I never ever hear them like say like, oh, we produced this for these guys or anything like that. It's like they just kind of like put their heads down, kill it, and then on to the next.
No.
Yeah, that's
It's-
honestly
it's-
like the one of our favorite things about them. It's like not just about how good the music sounds. It's like they're just such cool guys, and just being in the studio is such a good experience. It's just that's almost more important.
Yeah, that's so
yeah,
cool.
they're so helpful and understanding and like for us as like especially like the first one we went in there, we're a young band. Like I said, we have no idea what the fuck we're doing.
Oh God,
And
when we
obviously
first went in, it was
like
we didn't
and
know
they're
what the
just
hell was going on.
and they're just like so professional and know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
And then they're but they're just very understanding and very helpful and gave us a lot of guidance. And it meant a lot to us as like a young band who kind of just lost.
Well, it's important, to have those the guys like that to, foster that kind of creativity and not expect you guys to come in knowing exactly what you're doing, but to educate you and teach you and just work with you and make you guys sound the best you can with, where you're at, and then hopefully, help you build upon, the talents that you have and, keep getting better and better.
Yeah,
Exactly.
definitely. I actually think even that stems out to a lot of the older bands in the scene too. Like we were again when we first started, we were a little nervous, playing shows with some guys we didn't know what we were doing, but like just like some of these bands just have like the nicest people ever, just some of the best mentors, and just the most encouraging people I've ever met. It's
Can
awesome.
you name some?
Oh yeah, Esakota, University Drive, James Barrett, that whole crowd, like they're just so good at encouraging you and helping you out.
They're so uplifting of younger bands, and it's so helpful to not like to be like kind of like you said fostered and supported by bands who have established themselves and are respected and make really good music. So to get support from those guys, it means the world. It helps us so much and gives us confidence kind of do our own thing.
Yeah. Well, I kind of talked about that with the guys in If Kansas Had Trees and Maddox, I think, and I tagged you guys in it, I believe, just just saying like Wilkes-Barre's back,
Yeah.
and like when I was, younger, it was very cutthroat. Every band, they felt that they were the best band, and they felt that they should get all the shows, and if there was an opening act for a bigger name, like it should be them and no one else. And it's much different now. There's definitely like a collaborative scene and an uplifting scene and people just working together. And I think
Hmm.
Maddox nailed it on that. I made a Instagram reel out of it, but
I
what he said
saw
was
that. Yeah.
perfect. Yeah.
I mean, with that, I mean, like I said, he hit the nail on the head. I
Yeah.
mean, with both older bands and established bands in the scene, and amongst the bands who are up and coming like us, if Kansas had trees. I know you mentioned Pucker Up, Channel 65, Pollen.
Pollen. So many. It's hard
There's
to
there's
not
so many
miss.
bands, but like there's no sense of competition between any of the bands. We're all very supportive of each other, want to uplift each other, grow together, and
Success for one is success for all, really.
yeah,
Right. I love it. I love it. So great to hear. So great to hear. But what else? What else you guys got going on?
Oh man.
what else?
Well, unfortunately, we're nerds, so we're out of college studying like molecular biology and computational
Jeez.
biology. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's
No, of course, yeah. I'm home for the week. I took a week off, but yeah, now after this week, I go back to Pittsburgh, doing some research.
Yeah. Musicians and you're smart too. Who would have thought?
Yeah, well,
That's
that
sweet.
both of those might be debatable.
yeah, we try. Um, um, yeah, no, I mean, I think that's also kind of an interesting thing. Balancing school and like work and music and both in semester and out of semester.
Yeah.
It's there's definitely I think we've learned a lot and kind of how to go about that.
Yeah, it's the balance between the two has given a lot of good like experience, just life experience in terms of maybe like a work-life balance kind of thing when you're older, but also so many other skills like networking and time management and stuff. Like needing to juggle all this has really just helped, I think, all of us grow.
You guys are so mature for your age. I mean that like it's great. It's like I just remember where I was at your age, and I wasn't like a fuck up by any means, but like I don't know, I didn't have it all together, you know. And I think you see that a lot more these days with kids your age are able to. I think maybe I'm wrong, but maybe from what I see, it's just you're in a band, like you're doing multiple things, and you're just learning how to really time management and kind of figure it all out.
Yeah, it's so important to learn that. Like time management, I think is a huge skill to have, and just learning how to balance and have a healthy balance of like still being able to do well in school and with your future and career, but also like being able to still include the fun stuff in
Yeah,
music. And because I also think to a degree, if it's even if you're doing like well per se, but you're solely just focused on school, 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 work, work, work. To me, if you have no room for fun, whatever that may be, like obviously for us it's music, but what it could be a million different things for other people. But if you have no room for that and you're not balancing that, even if you are like technically successful, I'm like, that's not really healthy. That's no way to live. So I think
yeah,
I
for
think
us,
we
we
had
really,
that experience out in Pittsburgh a lot this year because at least when we first got there, because we were getting just in a bigger city, a lot more show opportunities. So there were a lot of times I think at first we were like, oh, should we really play this? Do we really have time for it? And we kind of just sat down and we were like, if we're not playing these shows, then like, what are we really doing? Like, there's no point in doing good in school if we're not able to play these shows and have fun.
right.
they said I think I would argue that honestly being playing shows and being active in music even during the semester honestly actually helps me do better in school
Yeah, it keeps
because
you
it kind
going, it
of
keeps you motivated.
because yeah and you just need the balance, you need the break, like it's a good break from school that just kind of lets your brain reset and lets
And obviously, it's really hard to make it too. So the fact that you're also focused on your education and taking care of that, that's very important. And I realize that sounds like a very dad thing of me to say.
yeah, but no, it's true though. Like I mean even like
Yeah,
I agree, I know we all agree with that. It is it's
Yeah,
like
I
much
mean,
it kind of sucks to hear, it's just kind
yeah,
of reality. um
yeah, we definitely have the full unconditional support of the music stuff from our parents, but they want us to have this backup, and like they would not be happy if we weren't also doing something else and studying.
right.
But for our own sake, if
Yeah, of
mhm.
course.
you can't just forge ahead and do, for where we were, we really going to college and getting the education was a smart thing to do.
Good, good, good. Well, I'm excited for you guys to get back in the studio already.
Yeah,
Us
we are
too.
too. We're hoping we could like it's tough. That's
It's
another thing.
tough.
It's kind of to make sure we could do it like when we're all home. But we're hoping like sooner rather than later. We want to get back in there.
Honestly, if there's one thing that the school gets in the way of, it's the recording because it's just so hard to get everyone together.
Right.
But yeah, we are writing. I mean,
Yeah,
we
we
never
already have,
stop writing.
yeah.
That's
We already
cool.
have a bunch of acoustic demos like that because Luca can record pretty well. So we have a bunch of just like I said acoustic demos made out. Some stink, some think have pretty good potential to be good songs. So
Yeah, the ones that stink, hold on to those, and maybe 2 years from now they'll revisit them in different space, different headspace. Might be
Yeah,
great.
no,
yeah,
exactly.
that's true. Yeah, sometimes
I
just
think
gotta
we
marinate a little bit.
I think we have some songs from a few years ago that might be worth kind of looking back on now for maybe our new stuff. Some of the OG Fosh songs.
Well, that's cool too. I mean, like comedians will write jokes, like and then they will put them in the notes section in their phone, and like they'll revisit them 5 years later, and like kind of tweak it, and they're in a different place and time, and they kind of are able to put a different piece to a different piece, and it works. So it's that's I think that's one thing that's awesome about art in general. Whether it's being a musician and or maybe it's even writing a book or you're writing songs.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I fully agree.
Like I think now if I were to, if we were to finish a song or add like change it around like an old one, it's like way different than we would have done, back when we originally wrote it. And that might be all the difference.
What kind of stuff are you listening to right now? I know we talked about in the very beginning, kind of you know, the older stuff like Green Day and the Pearl Jams and shit like that. But like anything current that you're kind of into right now?
Yeah, so I would say I'm honestly like I am obsessed with the If Kansas Had Trees new album. It's so good. We're so proud
Yeah.
of them. So I've been listening to
I
that a
know they're
lot.
our friends, but we genuinely do listen to them all the
Yeah.
time. But
Um
anyway,
I think some current bands I love are One Step Closer. I know I mentioned them already, but they that new album they put out is just amazing.
Yeah,
So
Giants
good.
Despair is like the best song they ever wrote.
It is. It's one of the best, like
yeah.
one of my favorite songs of all time.
Yep.
But yeah, them, another like Koyo, Anxious, the other bands that I think that are just really doing it right now. Um, and then obviously some like our other influences, like there's so much stuff in the 2010s that we love. Like obviously especially being from Northeast PA, like Title Fight, Tiger's Jaw, the Menzingers, Modern Baseball. You mentioned Turnover earlier. We love
Turnover.
Turnover. Citizen movements. Like there was that crop of bands are some of my favorite bands and like what I listen to the most.
Yeah, probably exactly what you expected. all the in the scene. It's pretty much the scene we're in, all those the bigger names.
Mhm. Oh, another band that we are super into right now,
Please
Taking
say
Back
Taking Back
Sunday.
Sunday. Yeah. Oh my
Yes.
God, I'm so obsessed
Yeah, which I
with
know they're
Taking
not
Back
necessarily
Sunday. It's
new,
unhealthy.
but yeah, we've been huge into them recently.
Nice.
Yeah, I just wait. I knew Fosh is gonna have a few too many overlapping vocal parts, I fear.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm excited for it.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, keep me posted.
Definitely.
But I mean, I'll let you guys go if you don't have anything else to add about the year ahead. I mean, that's all great.
Actually,
It's great stuff.
one little thing. Speaking of older songs, we have some B-sides that we're gonna be releasing in the next
Oh,
maybe
cool.
month or so from the album.
That's sweet.
Nothing too crazy, but it's worth mentioning.
Yeah, it's 3 songs, right?
It's 4. Well, actually, we already released
No,
Phone
it's
Screen.
yeah, no, it's 3 songs.
Yeah.
Do you guys find it like difficult to keep up with like a social media presence? I mean, you're recording music, you're writing music, you're in school, like you have jobs. It's like, is the social media aspect of all of this like a pain in the ass, or do you like being involved with it? Like,
So
Question for Luca. He does all that.
yeah, I do most of the social media stuff. I think with posting and stuff, it's pretty easy because it's just obviously you're gonna post about your releases and your shows and stuff. But the hardest part is responding to people about like show opportunities and stuff. Like that side of it is like I'm not good at that. And I feel bad because it makes it seem like I don't care, which isn't the case. But also the other thing I do, this is actually more of a Dante thing. But oh God, I hate doing the TikToks. I totally gave up on that. I was like, Dante, do
Yeah.
the TikToks.
Hmm.
Some of his TikToks do pretty well though. Like, right,
No,
Dom?
I do. Yeah.
Just stands in front of the camera with a guitar and put some lyrics over it.
Hmm. It works.
imagine being 41 and trying to figure out how to like utilize that platform because I
Oh
can't.
God.
We struggle with it at 21, 8,
Yeah.
19, and 8, 16. So yeah. I,
I actually delete. I mean, I have an account and I deleted the app. I haven't been on it in months. I just like it's. I don't know. I don't know. I
Honestly,
don't
it's
know
for
how
the
to.
best.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know
for the
how to.
best. It's so easy with those apps. It's so easy like that and Instagram Reels to just like start scrolling on there. The next thing you know, you've been sitting on the couch for 2 hours scrolling. And it's
Yeah,
just like so yeah, it's probably for the best and just get rid of it.
yeah. Well, I mean, I hope to catch. I know I don't have any shows like lined up, but hopefully when you guys start booking again, I hope to catch one.
For sure. Thank you. That'd
Yeah,
be
I'm sure.
awesome.
Yeah, we'll definitely in the coming months probably have shows around here again. So
Yeah, you can't stay away too long.
Oh no,
no,
we love
no,
playing.
not for too long. Definitely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, congrats on the new album. I think it's great. Like I said, my favorite song was "At the Door."
Thank you.
Like
Thank you very much.
from a first listen through. Like I didn't even listen to every song all the way through. I was just like, I just wanted to kind of get a quick like 30-second on each one. Um, and that was like the first one that like not the first one, but like that caught my ear the most out of all of them initially.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Appreciate
that's thank you. Yeah, well, I like hearing that. 'Cause again, that's one we all feel pretty highly of. That's one of our like collective favorites. So that's here.
Good. Cool. Well, best of luck with continuing to build your listenership and gain followers and connect with fans of yours, and best of luck with school.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Get back
We'll
in the
need
studio,
it.
write
Yeah.
some killer songs, and
Yeah. We'll certainly we'll do our best. So
yeah. But yeah, I think you guys got a great future ahead of you as far as everything. I mean, you seem like good kids. Seem like your parents did a great job
they
raising you.
did. Yeah. We
They're
we
the
owe
best.
a lot
Everything to them.
to them. Yeah. They're super supportive of us now, and it makes it so easy. Yeah. We owe so much to them. We
That's
love
great.
them. So
Shout out, great parents.
yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
If I could raise my children to be have your demeanor and your drive, I'll be very happy.
Well, that thank you. That
For
means
what-
a
Yeah, I
lot.
appreciate
it's
that. Our
worth.
parents will love that.
Yes.
for what
Yeah.
it's
And
worth.
again, we credit our parents to that. So
Credit
Right.
everything to our parents.
It's good. It's great. Well, thank you. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
cool. Yeah. Thank you so much for having us
Our
on.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah. We'll be in touch.
Absolutely.
All right. Take care,
All right.
guys.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you.
Peace.